Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. So guys, we are coming in for the final epic of the fusion that's live right now. I want to show you, not this fusion set, I want to show you Tuhak. So I've already done my Fane, my Baroth and my Kaden guides. And to be quite honest, really, Kaden is my favourite out of those so far. Fane can be useful in like an unkillable team and kick out some damage. Baroth, I was a bit underwhelmed with, but I'll link all those videos at the end if you want to check those out as well. And I was actually pleasantly surprised with Verkum Carr in terms of his quality. So it's a pretty interesting one. Most people are saying they want to just keep hold of Kaden and ignore the fusion. I don't know if that's where I'm going to end up fusing this guy because I actually think he's got a bit more usability perhaps later on in the game. But today it's going to be all about Tuhak. Tuhak being a void epic. So just before we get into that, guys, please smash the like, hit the subscribe button. I'm pushing my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get to 100k subs in my first year. It's going to be tight, and for those that watch my videos regularly, please just hit the subscribe, cost you nothing. So let's get into this then. Tuhak. Now, what I've done so far is just build him up in full out damage gear, because I just want to see, has he got some sort of crazy multipliers in there, which we're going to love. But basically, let's go through his kit. So this A1 for me is one of the best A1s in the game, certainly for an epic. I really love it. So you've got a double hitter. Each hit has got a 30%, but books up to 40% chance of increasing the cooldown of a target skill by 1 turn at random. Increases the cooldowns of all target skills by 1 turn instead if this champion's got less than 50% HP when he's attacking. So there's a couple of things, and I'll come to the next one in a minute. There's a couple of things here where if he's got less than 50% health, his skills become stronger. So if he's more than 50% health, he cools down 1 ability. If he's got less than 50, he cools down all abilities. And because it's a double hit, it can actually proc twice. So this is cool. This is cool for an A1. You know, you definitely want to be getting masteries on him where he's getting his counter-attack masteries going, because any counter-attacking he's doing, he's locking out skills, is actually massive. It's a massive, massive ability. In terms of having this less than 50% proc, it's difficult to do. He doesn't have any unkillable in his own kit. So, you know, if you're running in with something like a Man-Eater, and Man-Eater can throw up his unkillable skill, then suddenly Tuhak's skills become really strong. Or a Sir Nick, anyone like that, that is going to make him unkillable when low health, or just unkillable in general, will make him way stronger, because he doesn't have it built in. There's also artifact sets, one artifact set actually, which does this. So, you know, there is one of the new sets, which is called Swift Parry, 50% chance of being unkillable when hit with a fatal hit. That's what I'm going to try him out with after we've done a damage test, because I feel like this is going to be the best set for him to just give him the chance of proccing that unkillable, the unkillable buff, which massively improves his kit. You can craft that set in the Forge. Yeah, so this is open to anyone, and you just got to get lucky with some of those rolls. But it's definitely a very cool A1. He's then got an A2 then. So books up to 100% chance, decreased speed, AoE, and it hits pretty hard. So this one is a really cool skill. AoE decreased speed in Spider is massive, slowing down those Spiderlings, slowing down the main Spider. It's massive in wave control. It's massive in faction wars. Also heals his champion by 15% of the damage that he does if they have less than 50% HP when attacking. So the idea, what I was saying earlier, is you throw him with someone like a Man-Eater. Man-Eater puts their unkillable up. He then comes out with this ability, and pretty much, if he's already low health, he should heal to full. He should heal to full. It's not a definite, you know, and same with Swift Parry. You know, if you got him in the arena with Swift Parry, he gets clapped for most of his health, and it procs. He stays alive. He then comes out with this AoE, and he should heal pretty much to full. This is like having, it's like hitting with Leech on an ability. So, providing you do some good damage, this should heal him up a good chunk of his health at least. He's then got an A3, which attacks one enemy, steals 50% of the turn meter. That's like a given. If you've got enough accuracy, that just happens, which is cool. He's then got, if booked, 100% chance of placing a stun for 2 turns, single target. And then he's got steals 100% of the turn meter if he has got less than 50% HP. Again, so if low health, instead of stealing 50%, he does a man-eater, steal 100%. That is huge for Spider. It's huge for Finites. And it's huge for faction war bosses, like massive for faction war bosses. So the one other thing to point out here is he has got a straight out damage reduction thing if he drops below 60% health, which gives him a better chance of these different things kicking in. However, a lot of stuff in this game, certainly when you get into PvP, can just one-shot you. Like, he has not got good base defense. His base defense is actually shockingly bad, which means that, he is well in that kind of one-shot category. So I really feel like they've built him with Swift Parry in mind as a set. And then you're kind of like riding your luck. Are you going to get that 50% proc? If you do, great. You're actually in good shape. I guess he would also benefit if you're trying to make this work in something like Faction Wars and you don't have Swift Parry. Something like Stalwart set could really help as well. So, reducing the damage he takes so that he's not going to get completely sort of swiped out. But generally, I think his kit is very interesting and actually pretty useful. So in terms of masteries, what I've done here right now, I've gone for Helm Smasher and offensive, and I've gone for like a counter-attacking ability. I think his kit is almost like exclusively dungeon, faction war, potentially arena. He doesn't have anything in his kit at all which benefits clan boss. So unless he hits crazy hard, unless, it's almost impossible that he's going to be in a faction war team unless he hits so hard that he goes into an unkillable team. That's the only way I can see it working, because none of the turn meter stuff will work. Decreased speed won't happen. Lockout skills doesn't happen. So it's just, he would have to have insane raw damage to go into a clan boss team. The only thing which is kind of cool about him for clan boss is this damage reduction, but it's not enough. It's not enough to warrant him going into a clan boss team. So it's pretty much exclusively dungeons, faction wars. He might be cool for Doom Tower when it comes. But yeah, anyway. So we're going to go for, first out, damage test. I've got him in Savage and Cruel gear, which makes him hit as hard as I can get him to hit. I've got 5.5k attack on him, 100% crit rate, 227 crit damage. I've ignored the accuracy for now. This is not a build that you guys will use, okay? We need accuracy, we need more speed. All of that stuff is not in this build. I'm just literally doing it as a damage test. So we'll do that first, and then we'll get him into an actual realistic build. So I like to do my damage test on Dragon. If we're thinking about a crazy damage dealer, in terms of like ranking them, Candrafon comes in, slamming for 200Ks, no problem, versus I think we did it with Sylar and she barely tickled anyone. So, this is my damage comp. This is how I kind of build up, is someone hitting hard or not? And the way we do this is we get increased attack on our champs. We get poison on the enemy with Bad L, which increases our damage. We drop their defense and we weaken them. We get poison on ourselves, which increases our damage. And then we get to go. So let's do the AoE first. AoE hit. Let's slow this down. Let's see what we do. AoE 120 to 180k. It's pretty high for an epic. With this kind of utility in his kits. He's actually landed the decreased speed on 2 of them, quite laughably, really, with his accuracy as it is. So yeah, that's pretty cool. 180k. I mean, he's not up there as like top tier, of course, but that's a pretty hard hit. So let's get ourselves onto wave 2. We'd have to recycle through our skills a little bit. One more turn on his decreased defense and weaken. Just hit some people. So I guess we're just going to go A1 and see if we can put someone's skills on cooldown. That's the other. It's probably not going to proc because I don't have any accuracy. Oh, we did. Increased cooldown. There you go. So we've increased the cooldown of one of his skills. We don't know which one it is. And then we're going to rotate back to the damage. That's what this test is. This is all about the damage right now. Can't get that additional damage here. It's not back yet. Just see if we can slow a couple of people down here so we don't die. He is like prime target here. Okay. A1 double hit, 40 to 45k. Very nice. Let's try his A3. Still 50% turn meter. I mean, the accuracy just may not land. And then chance to stun. What's a stun? 100% chance to stun, which I've got, so I've booked that out. Can't steal more than 50%. So let's go for one of these guys. 140k plus a stun. I'll tell you guys, that's a hard hit. That is a hard hit in A3. It's not bonkers because you have to think about the gear that I've got on him right now. The gear that I've got on him is not realistic for, you know, general content. But let's just get this poison up on us. So we go for that A1. It's a shame we're not low health. Doesn't matter though. 70k a pop. So this guy can hit hard. That's the main thing here. This guy hits pretty damn hard. Let's get him in some realistic gear and try him out elsewhere. Okay, so I've changed his gear up to Swift Parry set with like a random offset. I've kept his masteries the same. We've still got really good gear here. So I've gone 4.3k attack, 199 speed, nearly 100% crit rate, not quite got there. 274 crit damage, 246 accuracy. This is high level. This is my best Swift Parry gear that I own. So basically in this kind of setup, he is in there for still being fast. He's in there to get damage out for us in the different kind of dungeon runs. So let's start him where I think he's best. This is where I think he's going to be the strongest. So we can run him in a bit more of a realistic team. I'll sort of team out and then we can go. Okay, so we're going to go for something really weird. It's a weird setup, but basically we've got Tuhak in there for damage and speed control. We've got Seal in there for like stuns and team protection. Drop defense here, speed here. And then I'm just bringing in Man-Eater for that extra chance of the unkillable to see if we can get some of his abilities proccing at like maximum potential. So very, very kind of odd setup. We go speed. We'll get his damage out there without any sort of decreased defense on. Still did like 30, 40k. Seal's obviously going to stun stuff up. Goes in there with an A3, 67k. It's good damage, guys. He's actually got much better damage than I thought he'd have. Increase the cooldown of a skill there on her. Obviously, he's not at less than 50% health. So we won't see him lock out whole abilities of teams unless that happens. And really, it's a tricky one because you don't want it to happen. Unless you build him, you know, relatively tanky to do that, you don't really want that to happen. So that's the bit that I don't love about his kit. You know, he doesn't have enough survivability to like risk it. You don't really want to risk him going down to that sort of low health. Swift Parry, as I've got him in now, might give him the chance to do it, but I still feel like it's a pretty risky move to kind of play around that. But even without him going below 50, all of his skills are actually really good. There's that stun coming off again. We've got stun set War Maiden, so she helps out kind of control. AoE damage there, like what's that, like 60 odd K each. Good level of damage. 20 to 30k on the A1, not bad as well. Double hit, so that's 40k to 50k. Increase the cooldown here. This guy's like really tanky. He has got really, really high defense. So seeing the damage there, 47k, very nice. I think we've seen that animation before somewhere else. And then you're kind of just after those double hitters here and that type of thing. So I think I must have her in Relentless set, the way she's proccing a load of stuff. So we've got the unkillable up. We get our counter attacks off, which gives us that double hit. That's in his masteries. So he's still not below that 50%, even though he's got very low defense. We just lost the chance of a decreased speed there, I think. I think that was his move he was doing there. Yes, that's his A1. So unless he gets his kind of turn meter steel away, which there it is, just dropped his turn meter by 50%, see that? Then we got the decreased speed on. So all of those parts of his kit are actually really strong. Really good. We're still just staying above 50% health. So I don't know. I'm surprised by that because I've actually not really built much defense into his abilities. I'm surprised he's not going lower than that. I guess we're just not getting crits. Like my cold hearts by now would be absolutely dead. Basically, I've got two people here that can absolutely steal turn meter. I don't know if Man-Eater does his turn meter still on auto. There's a 50% turn meter still though. That's very nice. Maybe it's just getting resisted because I don't have any accuracy on his build. Decreased speed out there again. So all of this stuff, you can see here, I've not got a team to do this like fast or, I don't have any cold hearts, any of the big boys in here. And other than Man-Eater, which I'm just kind of playing for the synergy or trying to get some synergy off with Tuhak, everyone else here is kind of very free to play friendly, I would say. So, you can see that we're kind of cruising through this. Very weak hit here again. And we're going to have no problem. So for Fire Knights, if I was to throw him into my quick team, maybe I'll do that next. I'll throw him into the quick team and just see what sort of work he does there. But this is very leisurely, no problem at all. He's doing good levels of damage. He's easily going to be the MVP for damage out of this group. And we're probably going to end up doing it in like 6 minutes or so. So I'll let it run through and then I'll try him in my fast team. So almost exactly 6 minutes, 5:59. So let's get him out of there and let's try him in my main team for Fire Knights and just see what he does. So we're going to have Venus in the mix, Cupidus, Draco. Draco? No, not Draco. Lysandra. And then my Cold Heart. So normally I run double Cold Hearts, so we're just going to take one of the Cold Hearts out, and we do it like this. Interestingly, in that last comp, there wasn't a single time where we ended up below 50% health to really try stuff out. Even though we were losing like a lot of max HP. That's a good damage though, guys. I'm quite impressed with his damage. It's like you almost need to think about his kit as though the less than 50% health stuff isn't in his kit. And then if it does happen to proc at any point, then it's a bonus. But you need to consider his kit as though those additional abilities you gain at less than 50% just don't exist. You can see we plow through this pretty fast. I'm normally about a 1 minute, anywhere between 1 minute 20 and 1 minute 40 sort of comp on my normal team. Let's see where this ends up. Obviously, a lot of it depends on the luck of... Oh, let's see that minus 50% is good there. A lot of it depends on the luck of Heart Seekers and stuff like that. Does it proc at the same time that I get my decreased defense off? All that type of stuff. Decreased speed on there is very nice. And at this point, the shield won't come back up. So now it's just how quick we can do damage. Obviously, Cupidus comes in big. But so does this guy. 100k hit is big on a turn meter reduction skill. Really big. As soon as we get Heartseeker now, this is done. He's good, guys. Yeah, he's good. Like, he's not going to get into my team, but he's actually... He holds his own against people that were already there. So, and his damage here, 930k versus Cupidus 1,000,000, Venus 700, Cold Heart 700. So he's actually almost MVP of damage out of that team. That's is very good. It's actually very good because this team is strong. This team is built well. So guys, that's awesome. Yeah, awesome. Let's try him in perhaps a couple of other areas. So Spider, I feel like is his second strongest place. Basically because of the drop speed and the drop turn meter on the main boss. So again, let's build a team out and see what we can do here. So let's see if we can do something a bit funky with a team here. So we've got speed in Apothecary. We've got increased attack and some healing and a tank in Doom Priest. HP burns, which have been activated by Doom Priest. And then we've got 2 people basically doing the turn meter control. So Sylar does a great job of this. She's in the stun set as well. And then Tuhak is going to be stealing turn meter. Stealing is better than just gaining turn meter, or reducing turn meter, by the way, because you rotate back through your abilities really fast. And then he's got the AoE decrease speed. The only thing that I'm thinking is not great here is that I've probably got him built to do too much damage. So actually, Sylar does a decreased speed ability anyway. We get the HP burns out. We decrease speed again there. We get the decreased accuracy from Sylar, which is actually huge. I didn't realize how huge it was until recently. Decreased turn meter there from Tuhak. And then we get all the resist because of the decreased accuracy from what Sylar did. And then we're kind of just rotating through that. So the main damage here is the burns. And then the main protection is kind of coming from the stun and the decreased speed. You see that? We're slamming them down. I've got him built too well for this type of comp. What I'd actually be better off doing for this type of comp is reducing his damage output and just making him fast with high accuracy. No crit damage. You actually don't need it in a spider comp. And I'd be better off putting him in a War Master for this same sort of comp as well. So, but you can see here, I mean, again, it's not going to be the quickest team in the world, but a lot of people just struggle to do spider. So this type of comp could be really strong for some people. You notice with this decreased accuracy on, my Doom Priest just does not take poison. I found this out the other day by accident doing my Sylar guide. I have been underrating decreased accuracy the whole time. The whole time. It's massively better than I thought it was. Especially in dungeon like Spider and Dragon. It's actually so good. So there again, massive decreased turn meter there. Plus he gains it back himself, which means he gets back to his decreased speed ability quickly. And I think this team will just win. Out and out just wins. So for Spider, guys, I mean, he's actually pretty massive. He's a massive champion. You don't need him in Swift Parry here. If we had him in just fast gear with accuracy, it would be perfect. He doesn't need Swift Parry. He doesn't need... if you had him in a half-decent Relentless set, would also be very good. Relentless here, getting back to that decreased turn meter as quickly as you can is the main thing. So, just speed and... just speed, accuracy, and HP is kind of all you need, really. But definitely will do the job. So, that's 2 dungeons where I actually think he's kind of top tier. Sitting up there with the best, really, in terms of controlling the bosses, giving you space to get your damage out with the champions that do the damage. Plus, he doesn't kind of, shrimp on his own damage there. 60 odd K pops. If you were using him in early game Spider, mid game, like level 15 or so, he will be absolutely crucifying the waves with that AoE hit. So, from that point of view, very, very cool. Now, if we just talk about some of the other 2 dungeons, so Dragon and Ice Golem. Dragon, none of his turn meter stuff works, and decreased speed doesn't work. So he would purely be there for a damage dealer and a wave killer. And in the waves, he will do work. Like, he can do a lot of work with that wave control hit where he is dropping speed. He can obviously drop turn meter and stun one of the enemy, which is cool. So he'll do work in Dragon, but he won't be doing the same sort of turn meter stuff that he does here. Ice Golem, though, he will be really strong. Decreasing the speed of those side adds, stunning one up now and then, good damage on his AoE, and stealing turn meter is all good. But again, you still turn meter off the Ice Golem, kind of doesn't matter because his retribution hit's still coming. It's still going to come. But I really like this. 5.7 mil damage out of that run, 7.4 for the HP burn champ. That's a ton of damage that he's doing there. That is a ton of damage. So really cool. Really like him for dungeons. Obviously, he would work fine in all of these ones. Shall I see? I think it might be Orc. It is Orc. Fantastic. So we're going to run him in Faction Crypts as well. I guess we're going to try him on the boss stage. So we've got a brilliant champion in Ultimate Gaelic here for decreased turn meter. But I tell you what, if you don't have Ultimate Gaelic was like game changer for me on the boss stage. If you don't have him, then all of a sudden you've got someone else in here that can do some work on the boss. So I don't have a decreased defense champion. I could bring Zargala in, but I seem to remember this boss is nasty. So just thinking what's my best play here. And who is actually built. I'll get a team together. I think we'll try this. So I think he can come in and instantly do work in this sort of team. Like instantly be able to just kind of get some jobs done. Firstly, decrease speed AoE. It's huge. It's huge. Stun up a target. It's huge on Faction Wars. And obviously I've got my Seer in here to do a bunch of the damage. And the nice thing here is his skills are on a short enough cooldown that he just brings it back again. Decrease speed again, straight away, wave 2. And we killed wave 1 fast. You know, so to already get that ability back, the next time round is going to be the stun again. You know, it just means that you're able to get some work done pretty damn fast. So here comes the stun. 100% chance to land the stun, which is, again, like 100% chance to stun is legendary level. It's you know, there's very few champions that do it as effectively as he's doing it, as well as other stuff at the same time. So we're getting through these waves pretty comfortably. All of these champs are built well. You don't clear stage 21 without having well-built champs. He's actually got resist off there. Don't know if that's just her having crazy high resistance. And then onto the boss. You've got 2 side ads here that we have to deal with. This is the guy that kind of steals all your buffs and stuff. I don't know if I've ever done this on full auto, but we get the decreased speed off, which is huge. We just actually, so he's going to throw the decreased speed on us, which is annoying actually. But yeah, we've got 2 turn meter reductions now. I've killed the side ads already. They're down. Basically, what you have to do with this boss is kill him twice. So at the same time, you know, make sure you're controlling your own life. So we're going to take a bit of a clap. Sandlash comes in clutch to keep us alive there. And we've got a couple of turns before he's going to kind of steal buffs and throw buffs back at us. Dropping turn meter there is huge. Honestly, on this boss, it's massive. Dropping speed is massive. So we're already kind of getting towards half health. So this, I'd say he is a top tier speed manipulator for this faction. The only one who's close is Ultimate Gaelic, who's in this team right now. And you've seen what he's doing. He is dropping turn meter as well. And obviously when we get close to being low health, all of these abilities, like you've just seen there, work even better. So there we go. End up doing it in like 6 minutes. Apart from Seer that does 2 million damage there, he's easily next damage dealer, 1.1 mil. He is going to be in my main Orc team from now. He is definitely in my main Orc team, not just for this video, ongoing. Fantastic champion, actually. Way better than his kit reads. And that's before any of the sort of 50% stuff starts kicking in. So that's pretty cool. So let's just get him into some arena fights. I'm just going to set him up with my kind of speed options here. So he's going to come in. Let's just try him as the damage dealer for a start. Like, what can he do here as a damage dealer? Maybe too quick, actually. Let's see. No, he's fine. We drop their defense. He then comes in with his AoE. So his AoE is going to just decrease speed. Or you could come in and like pick on one. You could say, you know what, I just want to take one person out of the game, their speed champion, and stun them. So instead of Madame being here, he might be your like turn meter manipulator or stun champ, and he could come in and do that job. and then you have your damage dealer coming in late. So he comes in here. I mean, that's pretty good damage. That is pretty good damage for the arena. 80 odd Ks across the board for his A3, whilst it drops speed at the same time. That is quality damage. Let's see that again, make sure it wasn't just a fluke. Yeah, having someone with this much utility. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes, in the arena as well. This guy is better than I gave him credit for to start with. Having someone with this much utility, able to kick out that sort of damage as well, is actually brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, let's go. Let's go again. Let's just see then. So we've got one Resurrect Champion here. Let's see what is A3 will do here. 120k. Obviously would have dropped turn meter. Plus, look how much turn meter he's gained. So he stole turn meter at the same time, so that he's kind of still in the races. He's coming back to have another go. Kind of want him to take some damage here. So let's just go A1 and see if we can lock out some. Oh, just kill him. 45k hits on an A1, which has got a double hit potential. Wow. Am I just playing bots? Maybe I'm playing really low champs here. Yeah, perhaps I'm just playing like rubbish team. Let's finish this fight off, see if I can just reset to have a stronger opponent. What's their power? Yeah, it's quite low. But once you don't want all the bot team pages, right. Let's go with, these are proper players. Try this. So I kind of want to take a hit. I want to see if I can kick in to that low health point. This is the danger as well. So Trunder's going to go. Trunder could just one-shot us all. So Swift Parry kicked in, but I actually got stunned at the same time, which is really annoying. If I didn't get stunned there, that would have been like the perfect test. Let's try that same fight again. So she doesn't have enough, or she doesn't really have the accuracy to stun me, or she hasn't been built to do stuns. Maybe take these two out a second. Thinking just throw someone in with shield set to just give us a bit of a buffer. I mean, this isn't really a... He's got an all battles aura as well, actually, which is kind of cool. This isn't really a team that you could run, to be honest, but I just want to see if a shield set's just going to... Okay, Swift Parry has kicked in and I'm not stunned. Perfect. Please let me have a turn now. Okay, cool. So we've now got a chance to... Or heals for 15% of the damage that we do if we've got less than half health. We could steal 100% of turn meter with less than half health. So we could go in and steal all of Trunder's turn meter or all of Sifi's turn meter and basically get another go. And then with this one, you've got a chance to lock out all of their skills. So that's why I think Swift Parry could be really like the best set on him. So if we go in with this kind of... It's not going to stun because she's got block debuffs there, but I should steal 100% of her turn meter as long as she doesn't resist it and basically get a second turn. So, bam! 100% steal. She slept me. Oh. How did she get another go? Counterattack, did she? She must have counterattacked. But anyway, so you can kind of see where that utility kicks in, but I would not play to that utility. He's cool without the minus 50% HP stuff. If that happens to kick in at some point, added bonus. But don't play around it because he doesn't have the defensive stats to make that work. But everything else, guys, top tier faction wars. Great Fire Knights, great Spider, and I tell you what, he is also a very viable arena nuker. So I think he's maybe my favorite. His multipliers are good. He's probably not quite up there above Caden, but maybe on a level with Caden for me in terms of like the best epics out of this fusion. So leave me a comment below, guys. Anyone already using him? What's your thoughts? Anything I missed that perhaps we should have seen? I've been Hell Hades. I'll catch you soon.